Let's go ahead and move on to celebrating the Super Bowl. And speaking of guys celebrating the Super Bowl, has anybody ever seen Tom Brady this lit?
It made me so happy. And leave it to Tom Brady to wait to get trashed on public TV to when avocado makes it tequila.
and you can't blame him, man. I'm actually happy for him.
Welcome to the Joe Schmo Sports Show. My name is Clint Webb. I am your host, along with my co-host, Mr. Dominic Battistella.
What's going on, Clint?
And as always, a man on the ones and twos, Mr. Andre Cameron. Today, we come to you live from the H&D Speakeasy at Mr. Dominic Battistella's house.
Nice.
Located in his formerly a garage.
It is now the formal garage.
It is the formal garage now, yes.
Yes.
And it is now a speakeasy with a full bar, TV, and now it's officially a podcast studio.
Podcast studio, yeah.
Yeah, so we moved over here for a couple of different reasons, but for one of the big reasons is we just started a YouTube channel. So the Joe Schmo Sports Show, Dom, right? Isn't that correct?
Yep.
And this just gives a better optic for people to look at. We have sports stuff surrounding us. We have cold adult beverages in our hands.
Yeah. That was the one thing for me, aside from, limiting my commute significantly, is that it also has a draft beer system and a full selection of bourbons, scotches, and other whiskeys.
This is correct.
Yeah, that seems to advantage Speakeasy.
And also advantage Speakeasy, we have more room for our amazing guests that are coming up.
Yes, we do.
To join us actually in studio.
Yeah.
And not feel the pressure of being in a studio or being cramped in a studio.
And we can also offer them beer, wine, or whiskey to loosen them up just a bit if need be.
This is all correct.
Yes.
And these are all advantage Speakeasy.
Yeah. Well, we also have a pretty dope new system for bringing in guests remotely as well. We will be getting to that in the next couple of episodes.
Yes. We have some very exciting stuff coming up. And today, the exciting stuff coming up
is
that? We're just going to talk some sports. There's been a lot of stuff going on.
I forgot. There's games and sports and things. Do we always need a guest?
Nah, we don't always need a guest.
Sometimes we just need to sit down with a couple of drinks in front of us and bullshit about sports.
This is just a couple things. We're gonna have a little soapbox segment for Mr. Dom to talk a little NHL hockey with us.
Oh boy!
And as per usual, going forward on this show, we're going to have a "I'm too old for this shit" segment, and that's gonna always be fun. And we have some cool stuff on that today as well. All right, so
where are we going to start?
Dom, as we previously spoke, let's wrap up the Super Bowl. Let's talk a little Super Bowl, Tampa Bay Bucks winning Super Bowl.
Yeah, of course. Well, the last time we were together in the studio, we talked the Super Bowl preview, and you and I did get an opportunity to review the Super Bowl on Clubhouse.
We did.
Now, if you guys aren't familiar with Clubhouse, this is a new social media
iPhone users
application.
Only.
Well, yeah, anybody who has Apple iOS can access this, but it's basically a new social media platform that's all audio. So it's basically 24 hours, 7 days a week, interactive live podcasting as a social media platform. So Clint and I got together in a room. We talked with a handful of people about our review of the Super Bowl and got some opinions of some of our fans and potentially some of our guests in the future. And that was very interesting. So if you would like to interact with us personally,
#Clubhouse,
come see us.
It was a really good time. I didn't know what to expect. It was my first time using Clubhouse. And since then, I've jumped on a few rooms and joined a few conversations.
Did you get involved with the Kanye West interview?
I would never, ever put myself in that position.
Why would you not?
Because,
my God.
Last time I heard anything from Kanye, it was on Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
And
but
it was not good.
Did you get an opportunity to ask Kanye a question?
No, I don't think I
Well,
want
you
to.
can do that on Clubhouse.
I don't think I want to.
Yeah.
Don't think I would want to.
Yeah, because his,
Oh, they
you
had
know
it.
why? Because his answer would either be 1,000,000 hours long, or it would not make sense.
Any sense at
but
all?
Well,
possibly and probably both.
but that's the best part.
I don't know. Is it?
Yes.
True.
Yeah.
I mean,
Look,
it was fun. It was fun. We had a good time. We had a really good conversation. And,
So-
you know, we talked about some of the stuff that we're going to talk about today.
So if you guys don't know, Clubhouse in the last week, Kanye's gotten on, Jay-Z's gotten on, Kevin Hart's gotten joined, and Elon Musk.
Oh.
Yeah. So when those people get on and are being interviewed,
Shit's about to go down.
shit's about to go down, and you can get in on it.
Yes.
So anyhow, join Clubhouse. If you, it's invite only.
Yes.
So if you need an invite, please get a hold of us. We've got a handful
Yep.
that we can dole out.
As
As a matter of fact, I have 3 Clubhouse invites that I can give away. I will give those invites to the first 3 listeners to give us a 5-star review.
Yep.
Just get in touch with me. Let me know I left you a 5-star review. I'll take a look at when it went up, and if you are one of the first 3, I will give you one of my Clubhouse invites.
And let me double
Sounds
down
like
on that.
a deal to me.
Let me
yeah.
double down on that, Dom.
Yeah.
I have 6.
do you?
I have 6.
Well, why
Clubhouse
don't you hold those in the back pocket there for a minute, and you know, if we get a few extra reviews, if we get an extra special review.
Well, what I was going to say is
Yeah.
if people engage with us on social media,
Sure.
I will give away a Clubhouse invite.
Oh, nice. Nice. Okay.
Okay?
Sounds good to me.
So we are at J Schmo Sports. That's JSCHMO Sports on Twitter and Instagram.
and on Facebook, everywhere where there's social media, we are J Schmo Sports.
Yes. Except for TikTok and Snapchat.
Well, so for
And the
I will
12-year-old platforms.
Yeah, I was gonna
Right.
say TikTok, Snapchat. That's a good lead in because I'm too old for that shit too.
Yes, and we
Exactly.
will.
Oh,
that,
yes.
that will be part of our Too Old for This
Well,
shit
that's
segment.
4 invites right there. You guys
Yes.
are giving away.
Oh
Yes.
yeah,
It's gonna be
we
good.
can do
It's
that.
gonna be
we
good stuff.
we need 4-star reviews. Let's
We
do
do.
this.
It's
5-star reviews.
Yes,
Excuse me.
5-star
Forget
reviews,
a 4-star
Dom.
review. 5-star review.
Look, 4-star reviews. We'll read it on the air.
Nice.
All right, so let's talk a little. Let's talk a little Super Bowl. So first
Okay.
off, I think that you and Dre
Yeah.
picked the Tampa Bay Bucks,
Yes, we did.
Yes,
Okay.
we did.
and I picked the Kansas City Chiefs.
That's correct.
Now, I don't think any of our scores were anywhere close. However, I think some of the winning scores were probably fairly close. I think actually you said 31-29.
I said
Didn't you?
I think I said maybe 32-29.
32-29.
It was a
the
3-point
same-
game
It was
in
the same
Tampa.
the same one as the Carolina Panthers Super Bowl. So it was 32-29.
Panthers Patriots.
So you
yeah.
got really, really close on the winning
On the
score
winning
for the
side,
Bucks.
yeah.
I forgot what my score was, but I remember saying that I thought it would be low.
Yeah, I think you were. I think
it
you
was
were
like
21-14 or something like that.
I think it was
You
something
did grab
like
at
that.
the under, that's for sure.
Yeah, you definitely did, and you would have won as far as the under goes because it was definitely under. The over under was 56.5, and it
Yeah.
ended up being a very cool 40
Yeah,
Yeah.
40.
Wow.
and a very underwhelming 40.
Well, that's what happens when your leading rusher as a losing side is your quarterback, and he runs for like 436 yards behind the line of scrimmage
Yeah,
for the game.
Boy,
yeah.
boy. And not to mention he was hobbling around between snaps. And that kid, I don't
Yeah.
know what he has in his blood. And what I guess it's all professional athletes at that level that whenever you're hurt so bad you can't walk straight, but you can run just fine.
I mean,
Yeah.
he was playing with turf toe.
He
Yeah.
was throwing from like a half an inch
Dude,
above the ground.
Some of those,
Yeah.
they
That
were
was
just
nasty.
so acrobatic and amazing. And,
And-
to be
and-
honest,
It's like the
that's
best game I've ever seen someone lose.
Yeah,
And
well,
not only that, but those passes were perfect, and they were bouncing off.
face masks
Face
and
masks.
hands
Yeah,
and
it's-
numbers.
Like, come on, guys!
Yeah.
If he's going through that much trouble
Yeah.
Exactly.
to get you the ball, you can at least catch it when it's right there.
Well, and
Exactly.
Patrick Mahomes doing those things and his
Yeah.
job were the highlights for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
There were
Yeah, they
not
were.
too many.
No,
Right.
no, there were not. There was a whole lot of highlights coming
Right.
from the defensive side
There
of the
was
Tampa
indeed.
Bay
Right.
team because they looked filthy.
Yes.
They
well,
really did.
and coming into the game, what they hadn't lost in however many straight games.
They hadn't lost since week 12.
Yeah,
when
and-
they played Kansas City.
Right, and
Yeah.
they've been having amazing defensive efforts
Exactly.
going into the Super Bowl. I mean, look at what they did to Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers.
I
Oh,
know,
yeah.
and I did not expect that.
Nobody expected that,
Well, I mean, when
but
you
it is
have
Tom Brady.
you have
So you got the Tom Brady effect doesn't only affect the offense.
well that that defensive line is just disgusting.
Oh, it's
though.
gross.
Because you had
JPP,
JPP, you had Ndamukong Suh, you had Shaq Barrett. Yeah, I mean, what are you supposed to do with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you got Antonio Winfield leading that backfield, and that dude giving the peace sign to Tyreek Hill. I love Tyreek Hill because he was on my fantasy team, so much respect to Tyreek.
That was some get back for
it was definitely
Tyreek showboating back in week 12.
It was
man,
definitely
for
some
sure.
get back, man.
Yeah.
So the 31-9 score was the only disappointing 40-something in this game because Tom Brady, boy, did he have a good game.
43 years old.
The whole
3
team had a
touchdowns.
good
I mean,
game.
he had 210 yards passing. But
Right.
It felt like he had 400.
It
because
really
he
did.
had three touchdowns
touchdowns.
in
Yeah.
the first
But
half.
the most important thing here is how he
Yeah.
managed the game.
Well, yeah, in the second half, he did exactly what he needed to
How
do,
long-
which
how
was put
long
the
did
rock
Kansas
in the
City have the
hands
ball?
of Fournette and
Yep.
let him run
Let
the ball.
him run
It was
that
like,
ball.
how long did Kansas City have the ball in the second half? It
seemed
couldn't have
like
been long.
not at all.
It couldn't have been long.
Yeah.
I really don't know. It'd be nice to see.
Like, so there's
what their
30
time
minutes
possession
total
was the second
in a half,
Mm-hmm.
and what KC probably had the ball 7 minutes.
Yeah,
I would say
it
that would
didn't
probably
seem
be
like a
that
lot.
would probably be a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tom was playing keep away.
Yeah, as he should, and they were running the ball
intelligently.
and they were running the ball right.
Right, and they
3.3
could.
yards a
Very
carry is a first
effectively.
down, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
Leonard Fournette was doing that. Dude had 90.
Fournette actually caught the ball out the backfield. Also,
Oh my God!
Barney
He-
Rubble hands
he-
himself.
they won't
Right?
that day,
Nope, not on Super. Well, not when
Not
it
that
counted, I
day.
guess.
and that's really what
I mean,
matters.
good for
man.
him.
Yeah,
Good for him. Good for Brady.
Yeah, bad for his offensive line.
Bad for his offensive line.
Whoa!
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about this.
Yep.
You cannot lose both of your tackles.
Nope.
And try to reorganize and reinvent your entire offensive line
No,
and get that to gel in 2 weeks between the AFC Championship game and the Super Bowl with no game time to develop that.
it's not possible.
Well, these are all
cohesion.
pro tackles
They
with Schwartz and
are
Fisher.
they
Yeah,
are
they
all
were.
pro
They are
tackles.
all
So you
pro.
so you lose the talent level, but you also lose the communication.
Yeah.
You lose
Mhm.
the
People
natural
playing out of
motion,
position too.
People playing out of
Yeah.
position. Exactly. There's
Mhm.
just there's no way to make up.
Yeah,
for
because
that.
as much as these guys train for their particular position, the muscle twitch fibers have to be very different, even moving over a space on the line.
Well, you had
I would
you had the
think so.
right tackle
Definitely.
move to the left tackle, and then you had another guard moving over to tackle as well, and then you had backup guards playing. So, what are you gonna do?
Nothing.
There's not much
Because-
you can do because
Nothing
think about if you're moving, even if you're a tackle and you're moving
Mm-hmm.
from left to right, that's still a different position, even though you're still playing tackle. You know what I'm saying? So
sure.
if you've got the pull,
Sure.
usually the left tackle, and you have to pull for a sweep that might be going
Mm-hmm.
right, but now you're playing right tackle, and you hear that same play, automatically in your head you're thinking, "Oh, I got to pull."
Right.
But
Mm-hmm.
you got to be disciplined enough to know that I'm not the one pulling because I've moved to right
Right.
now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's really got to be hard.
Oh
You know
yeah.
what I mean, It's
that's
really
why these
gotta
guys
be
get paid
tough.
millions of dollars.
Yeah, I mean,
You know,
it's a
but
lot of learning, man.
Yeah. It was amazing to see Patrick Mahomes running for his life because we haven't seen that unless it was like something that he decided to do.
I sort of
Right.
felt bad for him.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, every time he dropped back,
But did you
pass,
see
he was
him-
running for his life?
Every
Like, did you see
He
him
had
throw
0
people
time.
under the bus? And what do you think about that?
Yeah, that's
I-
that's pretty rough.
Yeah.
I'm not.
His thing was, my guys got to get open. You know who he didn't throw under the
Did
bus?
he really throw him under the bus? Though?
Yeah,
he did.
kinda.
He said, my guys weren't getting open.
Yeah.
Right.
and they
But-
weren't.
No, they
well, but that's true. They weren't. But you got
gotta give some credit to Tampa Bay there.
Yeah, you give Tampa credit.
But I think we
you-
talked about this on our Super Bowl preview show. As I was saying, you have more quality in Tampa Bay, less quality but more depth in Kansas City because you have much better players, route runners, receivers.
I'll be honest with you. I think that their receivers were getting open. I just don't think he had time to find them.
Oh, that
Like,
was
he
absolutely
was
a thing.
he was running his ass off.
As you
he
said,
did
400
not
and some odd
see
yards.
Mm-hmm.
any open receivers.
No, but
I get that.
And when he did, he was horizontal with the field. He got them the
Yeah.
ball, and they just didn't catch it.
Well, yeah.
Even
I
Travis
don't think they
Kelce-
were
And
expecting
even
that.
then, they weren't open.
Yeah.
No, well, Travis
even-
Kelce was.
Even then, Travis Kelce had a pretty
You
Travis
know,
Kelce.
Travis
game.
Kelce had
He
a great
caught,
game.
What, had 10 passes?
He was 10 for 136. But check
It
this
was
out.
hilarious. Had a good game too.
Yeah.
You can probably count on 2 fingers how many times Travis Kelce has dropped 5 balls.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
In his
Yeah.
professional career.
Yeah.
Hey, and guys, I think Dominic and I talked about this. And Dre, I don't know if you realize this. Kelce and Gronkowski, same age. They're both 31 years old.
No, I didn't realize that.
So yeah,
It's amazing.
You wouldn't think because
No.
Gronkowski's just been doing it
Right.
for so long, and he also looks like a 51-year-old version of Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
all the blow he's done in the offseason. I don't know.
So while we're still on the Super Bowl and talk kind of on the Brady
I
on the
mean-
Brady train, I want to say something that I said in Clubhouse, and it bears repeating.
Yeah.
Tom Brady going into the Super Bowl had the highest winning percentage of any single player in any of the 4 major sports. Going
Yikes.
into the Super Bowl, Tampa Bay had the lowest winning percentage of any team in any of the 4 major sports.
Yeah.
What a crazy stat.
Well,
So
it
when
just-
saying that one person cannot make a team or cannot make a championship,
It does make a huge difference.
It
and
does.
it brings
Especially
the
at that
culture, not
position,
only
yeah.
the player, but the culture and
Right.
the
His
demand that he brings to his teammates.
his leadership skills are
It's
off the charts.
Off the charts.
Yeah.
Off the charts.
And
Hey, go ahead.
I was just going to say that's why teams that win consistently have quality quarterbacks. You can get the occasional team that has a ridiculous defense and they may play good for 1 or 2 seasons, but if you have a long-term franchise starting quarterback, that team is going to be in contention for a decade or more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, look
It's-
at Aaron
it's the
Rodgers, look at
QB,
Patrick
period.
Mahomes. Look at wherever Deshaun Watson is going to end up, and we'll talk about that later. But
Oh, wow.
wherever will be the same kind of thing. I mean, hopefully for him, he goes into what. Forget about that. Let's keep talking
Hey,
about the
look,
Super
hey,
Bowl.
look.
We'll get into that later.
Let's get
I haven't had enough larceny
Let's
yet.
get back to
get
Patrick
into that.
Mahomes, though, man, because
Yeah.
I didn't hear exactly what it was he said about his players, but
Just what Dom said.
I thought he said something else, not just the receivers. I thought he said something about somebody else also.
I don't remember that.
Well, he might want to say something about that
But-
offensive
Offensive
line
line.
if he
Well,
wants to
I
throw
mean,
anybody
again-
under the bus.
Well, yeah, and I mean, I still don't think that he really threw them under the bus, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the truth is the truth, and if they weren't getting open, they weren't getting open. Now, sometimes they may have been open, and yes, he was running for his life, but I'm not sure if he really threw them under the bus. You know what I mean? When you throw somebody on the bus, you're actually blaming them for the loss, and I don't think he was blaming them for the loss.
Okay,
Oh,
so-
there was more than plenty of blame to go around for the
Yeah,
loss in that game.
plenty.
I mean, you could talk about the offensive line. You can talk about the receivers not getting open. You can talk about Patrick Mahomes not getting the ball
And-
out fast
and really,
enough.
it's
You can
not
talk
even
about
their
their
fault.
running game. You can talk about
You know?
their awesome performance on defense, apparently.
Yeah.
Okay, well let me ask you this and see if you would bring in this into the fold
Yeah.
for the Kansas City Chiefs. Do you consider the Britt Reed situation to be any kind of I don't know,
Nah.
take away any of the attention?
Nah.
Because you know that he's been
Britt Reed does not play the game.
right, yes. However, you know it's a distraction of
They
some
had
sort.
2 weeks to prepare for that game.
Right.
That happened Friday.
Yeah.
I don't think it was that much of a distraction.
I don't either.
Those guys should have been locked in.
I
And
agree.
maybe Andy is slightly distracted, but I don't think that Andy's slight distraction is going to have anything to do with their ability to block on the offensive line.
Me either.
That's true for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true for sure. I just didn't know if you thought it may brought it to the clubhouse, to cause any kind of mental distraction. Because
I mean, yeah, there might be a distraction, but again, like Dom said, I mean, that has
Those
nothing to
guys
do
are-
with those guys not
yeah.
blocking.
yeah, because they're still
Those guys are
professionals.
locked
Yeah, I
in.
mean, I get
these
that.
These are pros.
Yeah.
I get that. I get that.
Can we talk about one thing that we were right about
Please.
the preview was that Tom Brady was going to go back to the well for the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
And
With Gronk?
With Gronk.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean,
Absolutely.
He was the standout receiver.
5 for 66 and 2.
He led the team in receiving yards. He led the
did.
team in receptions, and he led the team in touchdowns.
And,
yeah,
and
that's-
honestly, I'm not sure if we were right about that, but I'm pretty sure
You were right about that.
were right about that in that.
We
last-
just didn't disagree.
Yeah,
Yeah, well,
I think
yeah.
this
I
was
mean,
your call. So
I will.
you
look,
called that.
Look, when one of us wins, we all win. We win as a team. That's how we win. When we lose, I take responsibility as the leader of this team.
See, Patrick Mahomes wouldn't do that.
Well,
I'm just playing.
Patrick Mahomes is not a true blue Buffalo Bill.
I just wanted to set the record straight. I didn't want people to think that I took the credit.
Dre and I had
this was your call.
Yes,
though.
we just agreed.
Although, to be fair, Antonio Brown also did catch a touchdown, which that was a nice little cut.
Yep. That was a hell of a route.
Man, can you imagine having a top 10 receiver in the league playing
in your slot?
No way. Yeah, Tom Brady's got to be like, hell yeah, I'll come back at 44.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like, why wouldn't I at this point?
Well, hold on, they got to bring back. They have some free agent issues.
You think
here.
they're going to re-sign God? Well, they got a lot more than that. Their biggest one is on the defensive side.
I think there's 0 to little chance that Godwin comes back, but we can go into that in a little while because we have a free agent segment we're going to get into in a little bit.
So I think we're over a week out of the Super Bowl, so we don't need to beat this
we
to
don't
death.
need.
Let's go ahead and
I'm done with it.
kind of move on to celebrating the Super Bowl. And
This
speaking
is
of guys
great.
celebrating the Super Bowl, has anybody ever seen Tom Brady this fucking lit?
I know
this guy
It
was
made me so
schlizza.
happy. It made me so happy, and and as you guys know, I am not a Brady hater in any aspect.
I am totally
Okay.
a Brady hater,
I
but
know
I
you
actually loved it. I
But
loved it.
I did too.
I loved it.
And I am
Leave
a
it to
Brady
Tom
hater.
Brady to wait to get trashed on public TV to when avocado makes it tequila.
and you can't blame him, man. I'm actually happy for him.
Tom Tequila
I'm happy for him.
on a boat.
Boy,
Yes.
oh boy, oh boy. That was so much
He
fun to watch.
never would have gotten away with that in New England.
No way. Bill Belichick
Yeah.
would
No.
have. No,
Yeah.
well, first of all, they would never been on a boat in New England.
True.
Yeah.
They would have been probably doing a virtual parade or
They
something
would
like
they,
that.
they might have done a parade, but they'd be sitting outside
Freezing
in
their
Boston
ass off.
like fuck
Yeah.
this go fuck.
It would not be good.
It's fucking freezing out here.
Let's get in the car.
The car turned the heater on.
It would not have been as good of a
Oh,
time.
man.
And I
No,
can
it
tell you
wouldn't.
one thing definitively that would have never happened if he would have won a Super Bowl in New England. He would have never ever been able to throw the Vince Lombardi trophy from boat to boat.
That was the best and most important completion of the Super Bowl.
I
I
don't
loved
disagree.
it. I loved
Oh,
it.
that was
Same.
fantastic.
I was just hoping he would throw it like overhand, like he's throwing a real football. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Just
right.
cock
I don't
back.
know. That seems to be a little bit heavier than a deflated ball.
So it's 7 pounds,
Mm-hmm.
22 inches, and
Yeah.
$10,000 worth of
Wow.
trophy.
Wow.
Right?
That sounds like something else I got.
Are you talking about the larceny bottle that's
Yes,
sitting in front of you?
I
That's what
am.
I thought. Because
Yes,
this larceny is very good.
Yes, this episode of the Joe Schmo Sports Show
Not
is
sponsored.
brought to you by Larceny Whiskey.
Not a sponsor,
Larceny.
but can be.
No, it's
Yeah,
not.
this damn good shit. All right,
I'm
so
not too old for this shit.
So no, you got to be a certain age to appreciate this shit. So when they came off the boat,
Oh, my.
Tom is you can't really tell. Was it tequila? Was it
Sea
the
legs?
Sea legs? I don't know.
Lame
But
ass
his
excuse.
handler had to grab him by the shoulders and kind of like direct him through that gate. And
Oh,
he's
it's
kind of
great.
like slobbering and tripping over himself. But then after he settles down and gets hugged by a bunch of Tampa hoochies, he walks up to Cameron Brate, who he tossed the Lombardi trophy to. They say, you know what would have been a real disaster? If I had hit you in the face with yes, Tom, that would have been a disaster.
Yes, it
That would have been a
disaster.
disaster, Tom.
That would have been like up there in the all-time worst sports celebrations ever.
Oh, man. Would that have been... Oh, man. So
That
did you see what the king, Mr. LeBron James, said to Tom's avocado tequila tweet?
Yeah, I saw that.
No. What did he say?
He said, man, oh, man, I wish we were able to have our parade too, because I would have been walking beautifully just like you.
Yep.
nice.
I was glad he said it too.
Same.
because
Well,
he
I
was-
mean, at
because
the
he was
point-
taking
One goat
some
to
flack.
another, right?
Well, I
Yeah,
was just going to
exactly.
say, at the point where
Yeah.
you win 6 or 7 championships in
7.
your sport, well, I don't think LeBron's won 7
No.
championships.
No.
Right. So
No, 4, right?
4. I don't know. He's
Five.
still a few behind Michael
I think
Jordan.
it's 5 now. He won 2 in. He won 2 in Miami,
1 in Cleveland,
1 in Cleveland. So he's 4.
and 1 in LA.
Yeah, so 4.
4.
And no, they three-peated. They three-peated in Miami.
I think
No, they did
he
too.
has 5. I think this last one was 5.
Oh, look at that. You continue,
Well,
Dom. Continue with the Tom Brady stuff.
Oh no. And anyhow,
You said something very interesting before we
what's that?
started.
Yeah.
I want you to go back to this trophy thing
Yeah.
and talk about
Oh, okay.
what you wanted to talk about.
Are you talking about Lorraine Gross?
I am talking
Yeah.
about Lorraine Gross.
Okay.
All right.
So if you don't know, there's a woman who lives down in Florida. We're going to start this as limerick. There once was a woman who lived in Tampa.
4 rings, by the way.
4 rings. Okay.
12, 13, 16, 20.
Her father was Greg Gross, who was the original silversmith at Tiffany's, who designed the first Lombardi trophy. Well, Miss Lorraine would like an official apology from Tom Brady because he disrespected all of the players in the league. He disrespected the effort of all of the silversmiths and all of the effort that went into building those trophies over the years.
Bullshit.
Look,
She's lost so much sleep over this.
much respect to silversmiths. I'm going to pull a Tom Jackson here. Come
Yeah.
on, man.
Come on, man.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Sounds like an
first of
Eminem
all,
song.
there's a couple of things. One, you didn't make the trophy.
Thank you.
2, this was Super Bowl 55. There have been 55 Lombardi trophies awarded. Tom Brady has won 7. 7 of the 55 trophies. That is a solid 13% of all the Lombardi trophies given away.
Solid 13%.
So what I'm going to say is
For TB12.
we need to go ahead and potentially rename the award from the Lombardi Trophy to the Tom Brady Trophy, or at least give him credit for ownership of the trophy. Anything you have to say, lady? I ain't listening to. I mean,
It doesn't even matter.
I mean,
yeah. If you can't sleep, you could take some trazodone, a little melatonin, and maybe a sip of this fine larceny.
She didn't make this trophy, man. So
She didn't make the
for
trophy.
someone
Her dad
that,
didn't make the trophy.
yeah, I
She had
mean,
nothing to do with it.
exactly. So why even ask for an apology
What
for
my-
something
what
that
my-
has nothing to do with you?
My question is, what news organization had that little to do this week
Right.
to go find her and ask her what she thought about what Tom Brady did,
Was there not enough going on in sports or politics
or anything, or
to say
anything?
anything?
Look, I don't care if he dropped that 80 feet down in the bay.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna go get it.
Yeah.
Yep.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
It's silver.
Yeah. It's not going to have any rust on it.
Nobody. Look,
Nobody cares.
Tom will pull pocket change out, get
Exactly.
a new one made.
Yep.
It's $20 grand.
Yep.
Nobody cares.
Yep. Actually, I think it was only 10 grand.
Now, although did you guys happen to see the SNL Weekend Update
No.
where they had
Dang it.
drunk Tom Brady?
No, but I'm going to go back and
no,
watch it
I
now.
saw a review for it, but I did not actually
Yes.
see
I
it.
will-
Okay,
I
yeah,
will
you
today.
definitely.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
God.
good. That's good stuff. It's gold. One of the things is he made sure to say to Bill Belichick, "You're not my dad. You're my real dad."
My real dad. Oh, this is fantastic.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
That-
So you
that
guys
is
got to
great.
check that.
I
out.
will definitely check that out. All right. So before we sign off here, fellas, we would be remiss. We'd be doing ourselves an injustice if we did not say this before we got off the air. Please go to rate and review us.
Yes,
You could go to Schmo Sports at Twitter and at Instagram
and on Facebook.
and on
You
Facebook
can
and LinkedIn.
Download, subscribe, listen to us
On Apple.
on iTunes,
Spotify,
Stitcher, and
Google.
Google. There's a number of other places as well. You can also, if you are a fan of the YouTube,
YouTube.
you can subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Click that
and
little
watch us
bell.
there.
You'll see every time we have a
click-
new episode.
Click the bell. Turn on the notifications
That's right.
so you're notified anytime
That's
we
right.
post any new content there, which we're going to be utilizing the YouTube more than
We
we
are.
have in the past. We're going to be posting full podcast episodes, but we're also going to be doing the occasional reaction video or commentary on things we see throughout the week.
Or if Dom is pissed at something with hockey, he'll jump on there.
If I decide in a bourbon-fueled stupor to get onto the YouTube and record something that I may regret later, we'll see.
and as promised, maybe there's a new stud coming into the PBA Bull Riding Association that Dre will make you guys aware of.
He's going to get you the inside on those genetics.
I'll keep y'all posted.
But go rate, subscribe, review. Remember, Dom has 3 invites to Clubhouse that he's giving out with 5-star, not 4-star, but 5-star ratings.
Reviews.
And I am giving away 1 Clubhouse review to
one Clubhouse.
Well, let me ask a question. Let me ask a question real quick.
Yeah.
So he has 3.
Yes.
And he's giving away all 3 of his.
Yes.
But you have 6.
He told me to hold off on one.
And you're only giving away.
He told me to hold off.
I will
on
get
some.
more. I will get more in the future.
Yeah,
Now,
he told me to hold off on some.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I know.
So what I said is anybody that wants to communicate with us via our let's say I'll give away 1 for Twitter. Or our first retweet or any kind of interaction on Twitter, and also 1 for any interaction on Instagram.
Okay, see, that's a little better. At least it's 2, man.
Right.
So
So-
again, our social media handles are Schmo Sports everywhere you find us.
JSCHMO Sports.
We are also on the web at www.joeschmosportshow.com,
That's
where you
right.
can find all of our information as well as our web blog.
You can email us at jschmosportshow@gmail.com.
It's actually Joe Schmo
Joe
Sports
Schmo Sports Show at gmail.com.
Yeah.
And maybe hit us up with some topics that you want to hear about.
Oh
any
yeah,
kind
we
of-
love some ideas
Yeah.
that you'd like to hear about. We can do a little research and talk about that.
Yeah.
And
give you credit for it on the air,
yeah,
the
of
whole
course,
thing.
We'd be glad to.
Yeah, so just make sure you rate, subscribe, review, and our new episodes will be dropping every Monday, and we have a good one coming out this Monday, so we're pretty excited about that. And until next time, folks, we are the Schmos. We'll see you.
Cut to the theme music.
The Joe Schmo.